Okay, we're back. How you guys doing? Welcome to the broadcast here for the final hour of trading today for today's date, which is Wednesday, December the 21st, 2022. We have 10 days left in the year. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Unbelievable. 4 days, 3 days, and it's Christmas Eve. 4 days, Christmas Day. My God, things are happening to us now. Welcome, one and all, to the broadcast for the final hour of the day. We've got the Dow holding a pretty good gain here of 514 points, about 1.5%. We're up 1.4 on S&P, and we're up 1.5 on the NASDAQ. All three markets doing well. Question, will the markets hold the gain all day? Is this kind of it, or will it wean out a little bit? Who wants to be long stock over Christmas? Question coming up will be, are buyers coming into the market now every day that sold shares 30 days ago for the tax loss? Remember, if you sell stock in the United States for a loss, to record a capital loss, you have to stay out of the stock for about 31, 32 days before you can legally get back in without it being considered a wash trade. So the question now being that it's the 21st of December, tomorrow's the 22nd, were people selling stock late in November, the 20th, the 15th, the 20th, the 25th of November, in order to buy back stock before the end of the calendar year here to get back into their stocks and continue their investment from there? We'll find out about that, because I'm wondering, if you sell today your stock, you can't buy it back now until the end of January, really. And so are there really that many selling today for that program, or are most of the sellers right now, has most of the selling been done already now, and we're about to see a buy wave come in between here and the middle of January as people recoup stock that they sold at the end of November and early to mid-December? This is the big question. I wonder if stocks like ATIP, Sofi, and the other SPACs that we're following here will all have a rebound trade as selling dries out, just dries up, and no need to tax loss sell anymore. You can't take advantage of it. With the calendar year gone, you're done for. People now are going to come back in and pick up stock, and or those who sold out, there are no more sellers for tax loss reasons, and so there's a lack of paper available at these low range prices, and we naturally have a 20 or 25% bounce up rally on a bunch of these stocks, just as a matter of course. The question then, of course, is, well, if a stock bumps up 20, 25%, could that make another 20, 25% happen behind it? Because people get the impression that stock's on the move, I better get in. Next thing you know, you're up 50, 60% from the lows, and all of a sudden your average doesn't look so bad anymore if you've been buying down here. I wonder if that's what's going to happen. Well, stick around and we'll find out. 524 point gain on the Dow Jones. Oil is up $2.38, and yet with all that movement today, we're still only at $78 a barrel, 78.49. And I don't know about the China recovery, not all that confident in that. We'll see how that plays itself out. All right, let's take a look at some of our favorites. We got Moderna up $7.61 today, back to $208. We have GameStop at $20.30 a share, up just a nickel. This stock is not getting a recovery bounce today at all. ATIP is off 1.3 cents at 28 cents on the nose. The low of the day, the low of all time, 458,000 shares. When does the selling dry out there? And if it does, is a rebound to 60, 80 cents on the horizon quick or what? I don't know. I wonder about that. If I have some loose, if I had clients with loose cash lying around as a broker, I'd be picking this up and just bringing the average way down. There are a number of viewers who are now sitting on averages under 50 cents a share on ATIP. So any bounce in the 60, 80 cent range, they're making money. And that could be the opportunity to perhaps write a call option against it. That would be interesting. We'll see how this plays out. Tesla up 95 cents at 138.75. There's all kinds of speculation now on Tesla because the EV tax credits that were supposed to be released at the end of this month are now, and we're not so sure about these credits. There are now questions everywhere about if you buy a Tesla in January, will you get a tax credit like people thought you were? Is there going to be changes to the tax credits after January, February, March that will be lower based on where the batteries are made, sourced from, assembled, and on it goes? There's a lot of questions right now being raised about what's happening here on Tesla stock. 138.54. The factories in China, are they gearing down because of lack of sales, or are they gearing down to be retrofitted to new looking vehicles? Is the Model 3 under a major redesign and being retooled? There's a ton of speculation. No one knows. And so the shares are not getting any help here, and it doesn't help at all with regard to the Twitter story. So there you are. Sofi 461 up 4 cents today. Apple 135.39 up $3. HPQ at 26.78 up 17 cents. The Amazon shares are up 165 to 86.84. Home Depot is up $3.74 a share at $318.58. Cisco is up 42 cents a share today to $47.79. Netflix is at $299.17, just under $300 again, up $10.98 today. The word earlier this week wasn't good regarding the rollout of the ad version of Amazon. There are stories out, rumors out, that it might not be going as well as thought, but I don't know about this. We'll wait. Pfizer up 26 cents to 51.58. IBM up 135 to 142.64. We've got Microsoft ahead, 282 a share at 244.62 now. Vanek Vectors up 396 to 211.62. We have Adobe up 223 a share at $340.44. Goldman Sachs is up 461 to 349.10. We've got Google sitting here at 90.53. It's broken the 90 barrier today, up 90 cents to 90.53. Pardon me. Boeing up $7 to 195.34. Meta Platforms, the old Facebook, up 251 to 119.60. 23andMe is down 1.5 cents at 236.5. We have Rocket Lab up a half a penny at 372.5. Matterport right now is showing a 3.5 cent drop at 259.5. Smart Rent off 3 cents at 215 even. Spire's up today 1.5 cents to 111.5. We have Sextera at $1.83. $183 would be nice. $1.83.5 up 5.5 cents on Sextera. Real Caribbean holding a $1 gain at 51.88. We've got Bed Bath Beyond down 5.5 cents. Carvana is up 28 at 4.44. Robinhood is unchanged at 8.10. BlackBerry down 48 cents today, having a bad day at 3.66. Over on Target, we're down 74 cents. JP Morgan up 127. Costco up $4. Walmart up 120. Disney up 46 cents, but it's at 87.48. Disney having a rough time of it lately. Nvidia Corp up 386 at 164.61. American Airlines up 49 cents at 13.02. Trying to battle back a little bit. There you go. Those are our markets right now. The Dow at the moment up 482 on the session for now. The high of the day for the Dow Jones got up to 33,437. We're now at 33,332. So we've given up 105 points from the high point of the day, which was a gain of 587 or so. Now ahead 482 on the Dow. We'll keep an eye on that. GameStop is not adding to its gains all that much. It's ahead 7 cents a share. That's all at 20.33 with GameStop volume for the day at 1.8 million shares. This is 450,000 pre-split. We have got nothing happening here on support or buying in levels at the moment. It's very quiet today. ATIP 28.2 is the last trade, down 1.1 cents on the day. All right, there you go, guys. That is where we're at. Thank you all for joining. JR, I just bought another 2,000 ATIP. Got my average down to 41 cents. That's what you got to do. Bring that average down as far as you can. John Malone and Marcus and Hawkeye and Willie, thank you all for these thumbs ups. We're pushing now through the mid 40s here. Just hit the 50th thumbs up of this show. This helps a ton. Thank you, everybody. Keep those thumbs ups coming in for today's show and help us out there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right. We did today our second show, our second 6-on-1 show today. And thank you for those of you who participated in today's 6-on-1. It was great to have you in. I think we accomplished quite a bit of good discussion here on this private on-camera show. It's interesting to watch viewers interact with each other, to compare notes, to understand kind of what people are thinking on the similar, on the same stock that you might have, and how you're trading options on your stock. Someone else has a different thinking of it. They play it in a different style. It's sometimes kind of neat to compare these notes and just kind of get a feel for how people are writing options on stock you also own. The other thing that I noticed today that was really interesting to me, many of you here are, you watch the commentary between myself and a number of my viewers, and you'll note that some of my viewers are brand new at option writing. Some are quite experienced, and some are larger in size with their accounts. Some are smaller. It was interesting today to really dig into Sofi shares. It was a very interesting chat today on Sofi, how the company itself, Sofi, is growing its product base, where they just offered stock trading about 6-8 months ago. Now they've just started offering options trading on Sofi. Soon they'll be allowed to offer option writing and so on. This is happening systematically, just one thing after another, after another, after another. The company is expanding out its business. But what I found interesting, what I do find very interesting about Sofi, is someone like Nick, who sits on over 200,000 shares of the stock, how Nick is able to write 2,000 contracts on Sofi when he wants to do an option write. This liquidity of option writing on Sofi shares is really stunning to think about. That this kind of market power exists on Sofi contracts, and yet the stock is very near its all-time lows. It's in this $4.60 neighborhood. The low of the year is $4.24. But if you want to participate in option rights, there's liquidity out there for these options that exist on Sofi. It's quite amazing to see. Just noticing, for example, options that expire December the 30th. The $5 calls on Sofi, there are 21,000 contracts open interest on that. That's quite substantial. If you're looking to write contracts in January, January the 20th is where the most action is for Sofi's contracts. We have on $5 contracts, almost 42,000 contracts exist in Sofi. At 5 strike, at a $6 strike, 48,800. At a $7.50 strike, 53,900 contracts exist on Sofi. $9, there are 16,000. At the round number of $10, there are 48,000 contracts in circulation, and have been in the past. It is most revealing to see that. Going out to March 2023, with an expiry date of March 17th, the $5 contracts are sitting on 15,100 liquidity, and the sixes are 13,000. So I find that fascinating how this kind of volume exists on SoFi contracts. And so even someone like with Nick's number of shares, where he wants to write 2,000 calls at a time, he can sell 2,000 calls into the stock at $5 or $6 contract prices, even though the shares are $4.60 a share. It's interesting to me. It tells me that I think what's happening here on SoFi is there is a very large institutional following on SoFi's shares and options, and that a lot of hedge funds are involved, ETFs and other institutional traders are into SoFi shares. What we're waiting for, I think, and what I am particularly waiting for, is the notification from the company that they'll have turned the corner from losing money every month to beginning to make money every month. They're zeroing in on this number. It's coming in very closely. And I'm curious about how this is going to play out. When SoFi announces their turnaround, their financial breakthrough, where they will announce that they have become a company moneymaker, a moneymaker as a corporation, that will be a very interesting time for the corporation. The income level just keeps coming up, and the growth keeps coming up. It's going to be really interesting to see how this works its way through the system. And of course, once they turn turn into a profitable income company, then we've got gain upon gain upon gain that we're going to keep tracking going forward. This will be a huge turnaround. I'm quite, to say the least, I'm quite looking forward to it. Just looking at financials right now, I'm pretty convinced that a lot of institutional investors will want to become shareholders of SoFi because they're a profitable corporation. Right now, there are probably a lot of institutional investors that won't buy into SoFi stock until they turn a profit. And when they start turning a profit and announce their guesstimates for the next quarter, the quarter after, and each one is subsequently likely to be higher than the last, that is where a whole new breed of investors comes into this stock that we don't presently have. That changes everything. And it'll also change the option market. It'll make the stocks a much higher premium contract, I think. And that will make option writing a pleasure for many of you here who are sitting now on thousands and thousands of shares of this stock, who have patiently been acquiring the shares and building up your inventory of your stock. Those of you who have 10,000 shares, you're going to be writing 100 at a time without any problem whatsoever. Those of you who have 5,000 shares, you'll write 50 at a time. You will bring in just loads of dough from your SoFi shares. I predict, as this company begins to turn the profitability corner around. The question is what day, and I can't tell you that. I can't. I'm not on the inside to let you in on that info, but it's closer than maybe we think, and so we'll see how this all plays out. Thank you, those of you who are hitting the thumbs ups button for me: Karen D, Oscar, Mirko, Sell My House, and D.H. Ruda. Thank you for these thumbs ups. Credit Savage, thank you. Credit Savage, Uncle Bruce, the wife had no written covered calls on some stock. I did it for her, made moves, and then money. Then I bought $10 GameStop Jan 25s for $12.11 and quickly sold 10 January the 20th, 2150s for $2.05, and they triggered poor man cover call, baby. Wow, right on. Bringing in $2,000 on a $12,000 purchase right away. Very well done. Credit Savage is number 65. Converti is number 66 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you all very much. Wing Commander. So I've been gobbling up deep in the money calls, these 10s for 2025 on GameStop. I've been getting them for like $12.10, $12.15 all day long, selling stock and writing 21s for March for $3.69. I'm currently sitting on 29 covered calls, and I'm trying to write more. Nice job. Nice job building up these positions. This is absolutely fabulous. Option Nomads. We enjoyed our 6-on-1 today. Good conversation. And interesting to hear what the others on the call are thinking from their own positions. It got us excited for a future in-person meet and greet, right now. Yeah, the in-person one-on-ones, these sessions where I get to see you in person. I am looking forward to these. I always do. I think it's going to be great. Should be a ton of fun. Thank you all for joining in, being here, everybody. These thumbs ups coming in. Thank you, guys. We're now down to 40 minutes to go, and the day is done. We got the Dow still holding a 477 gain at the moment. Let me just refresh my screen over here. We're up 1.4% on the Dow, 1.36 on S&P, and NASDAQ up 145 as well. We have oil holding a 239 gain at the moment. GameStop has gone red. It's down 3 cents at 2023. 3 cents lower on GameStop at the moment. ATIP at 28.2 cents, 28.4, 0.9 of a tenth of a penny lower at the moment. Tesla, 138.13, only up 33 cents. That's where we're at. I wonder if the low on Tesla could be in this 130 range. I figured 140.50 would be doable. 130.40 would be ideal. And so those of you who are picking up Tesla shares to write options on, if you do look to write options, you may want to look at writing maybe February or March contracts around the 140 to 150 level. And if you're going to be taken out, you want to be taken out at a premium plus your premium. On the other hand, of course, if you're going to write 135s, 145s, 150s on Tesla, you then have the option to do rollovers if the shares want to do any kind of a recovery. Well, play that by ear. I doubt you can get Tesla contracts under the 90-10 rule. Something tells me you're not going to be able to do that. There's too much of a premium on those contracts, and it makes it impossible to do poor man covered calls with any reasonable return. And Bobby is asking, does Sofi have to tell investors the day they turn a profit? Or can they wait until the earnings? They can wait. They can wait until the earnings release. They're under no obligation to have to disclose this. Now, what companies do love to do, though, is they like to tell their investors that they've turned the corner. They don't care to hide this sort of stuff. They want their shareholders to know that you are now a shareholder of a profitable company, especially when it's the first time. If a board of directors gets a report from the CEO that says, look, our revenues coming in right now are such that we have turned the corner with regard to losses per share into gains per share, the directors of publicly traded companies get downright giddy about that kind of stuff. They love being board of directors of successful, publicly traded, profitable companies. They will want to have a press release made pretty soon, pretty quickly thereafter, about that kind of accomplishment. What would probably happen as well is that there will be a lot of independent analysts out there. They will all receive the press release from the company. They will then do their own digging into the financials, and they will start coming up with their predictions of how much money the company will make over the next 3, 4, 5 quarters going forward. They will try to guesstimate what the PE multiple of the company is, forward PE multiple of the company is now. So they'll say to you, your stock's at $4.80 a share. I think in a year from now, they're going to make 50 cents a share profit. At $4.80 a share now, your stock isn't even trading at 10 times earnings. That's forward PE. Well, that's a joke, because the year after that year, when they make 50 cents a share, they'll probably make $1 a share the year after that. that means your stock's at 4.8 times earnings. This is a joke. This thing should be trading at 30 times earnings now, 40 times estimated earnings. And so analysts will quickly jump on the bandwagon to say to their following and their flock, get this stuff because this is going to be a $30, $40 stock in the next 2 years. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm patiently sitting here. Look at me. Look, I'm crossing my arms. I'm a patient guy, but I've been doing this now for months and months and months and months. And look at how much hair I've lost in that time frame. I mean, I'm just sitting here like this. I'm not like doing this. I'm doing this, and yet the hair's falling out. I don't go figure. It's not easy being me. Susan Shops About, number 70 for Bruce, thumbs up. Zach, Uncle Bruce, I'm certainly one of the smaller fish around here, but I'm sitting here for the first time with just over $1,000 of dry powder in my account from all my covered call income. Trying to build with my first poor man covered call. Right on, Zach. It's coming. It is coming along. Robert Benson, I am thumbs up 79. Thank you, sir. Zach, so grateful for your teachings, and thank you for following and being patient and allowing the teachings to happen and allowing the teachings to be absorbed. You've been investing your time and your effort, and the reward is beginning to show. And that's what it's all about, kids. Believe me, for someone like Zach, what's going to happen here going forward is Zach is going to start getting busier and busier with his positions. And as time goes by, Zach will be very active in acquiring additional covered deep in the money calls, writing additional covered calls, bringing income in from several sources. What ends up happening with my viewers after a few months and a year in, they are so busy with 3, 4, 5 different positions at the same time, they can't afford to go to work anymore. It's too expensive to lose money in the option market to take a day job. It's just not worth your time. It's much more worth your time to be managing your portfolio and growing it quite smartly. And that's what happens around here. Could happen to you too. BW, sheepy investor, it all varies on how many contracts somebody has. If you had 3 $4.60 contracts and you wanted to buy them back at $2, you need to have at least $600 and then buy that out and then be able to write again. Of course, if you've got 3 contracts out and they're trading at $2 each, and you've only got a couple $100 lying around in your account, you'll just buy one call back first. You'll buy one call back at $2, write a new call to replace that call at maybe $4.50. Now you have $450. You can buy the other 2 back for $2 each, and then immediately write those 2 calls. And now you've done the flip, you've done the rollover, and now you're sitting on over $1,300 in cash all of a sudden because you've gone from $200 in cash to writing 3 $4.60 contracts. I guess though you'll have brought in $780 in cash. You'll have then. So yeah, away we go. Gonzo Cruiser number 81 DQ. Rest in peace, Franco Harris. Number 84 thumbs ups. Thank you, Zach. One plus call, 50-cent raise at this point. I think I deserve it. There you go. Right on, Zach. DQ, sorry for the loss of your legendary man. Rock and roll. Yeah, you go from 1 call to 2 calls. That's a 50% increase. You go from 2 calls to 3 calls of writing. You just got a 33% raise in income. Yeah, nice going. This is what we're talking about. You're not going to get that kind of raise at work. The key here is to compound those numbers and build it. 473 drop on the Dow with 32 minutes to go. We're at 1.43% on the gain for the Dow, 1.34 on the S&P, and 1.43 on NASDAQ. Just a little tiny pullback, nothing serious at this point. GameStop is still in the red, down 2 cents at 2024 right now. Not going very far. SoFi is ahead by about 4.3 cents today, $4.61 a share. We're up 29 cents a share on Tesla at 138.09. The ATIP is down 0.9 of a penny at 28.4 cents today. Apple is up 307 at 135.37 a share. Moderna holding a $7 gain today at 208. We are watching this market to see if it's got any kind of slippage coming through here in the last 30 minutes of our day. Doesn't look like too much is actually happening here. We are getting, after all, closer to Christmas. Now, when I was a broker back in the 80s and the 90s, early, late 70s, 80s, 90s, we definitely had a slowdown in the stock markets during holiday time, certainly during some of the dog days of the summer, and then definitely during year end. But nowadays, things have changed. It used to be that stockbrokers would take holidays. They would be gone for a week or two at a time, and they'd handle all their affairs over to their assistants and their staffs, who would then handle trades. And you might have a broker that you work with, and when this broker goes for lunch, you handle his calls, and when you go for lunch, that broker handles your calls, and your clients get to know the other broker, and the broker gets to know your client. This kind of thing. That was the way it used to be when I was a stockbroker. And as a branch manager, I would insist that all the brokers in the office would have a buddy. You'd have a buddy to look after your phones, because the worst thing to happen when the markets go crazy is you'd have a client want to do a trade that they had initiated, and there's nobody to take the order. That's a no-no. So receptionists knew in my office who the broker buddies were. So if there was a broker in the office, but I hauled him into my office to talk to him about something, and his phone rang, the broker next to him would grab the call, or the assistant. One of our staff would grab that call and not let a client wonder what's going on. If a major trade was needed to be done, the buddy broker might come to my office, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, I got Joe Schmuck on the phone for you. He wants to do a trade on some stock." The broker would excuse himself from the office, take the call, take the order, get it done, and come back. That's the way it used to be done. During market downturns like holiday time, things got quiet because clients would leave town. They wouldn't trade anything. Brokers would leave town. They wouldn't trade anything. It's all different now, because you folks who watch me all the time, you got one of these now. You got one of these little devices. You don't need a stockbroker to talk to put in a trade anymore. And so the markets actually aren't all that much quieter. It's truly interesting to notice how active markets actually are on quiet days, perceived days of calm. We can have quite a bit of activity. And those of you who are option writers, oh my God, you needed to be able to talk to, back in the 80s, you couldn't just call your brokerage firm and get a broker buddy to take your option trade. If the broker buddy of your stockbroker was not licensed to handle options, they couldn't take your order. You now had to talk to the assistant branch manager who was handling the client's affairs, the broker's affairs, who was out of the office, or maybe even the branch manager. It would go up the chain. We also had I would have a licensed trader, or a licensed individual in my we called it the cage. That was the back of the office, where in the old days there were bars all around the countertop. The cage, like tellers. You remember the old bank days with bars? And in the cage, they'd handle all the securities. Well, my operations manager would be licensed for stock trades and option trades. And so in case there was no one around, my operations manager could handle an options trade during market hours. We always had staff in the branch to handle any one-off scenario, whatever it had to be. There was ultimately Bruce, the manager of the firm, the manager of the branch. I could handle orders for any client on any trade you wanted to make, and I could literally phone it in to the floor directly from my office. I mean, I had the ultimate power to get to people and get trades done on behalf of clients. Almost never had to be done, though, because we had systems in place to handle it. We would not allow brokers to take time off unless they had their act together regarding your account while they were out. So we were always on top of these things. Now, there were times a broker would be on holidays. The buddy broker would catch the flu and would not be in the office the next day. We'd then have a backup to the backup, and we found ways to handle it. There were times where I recall I would have on my desk as manager or as desk trader, I would have 4 or 5 brokerage stockbrokers books on my desk, and the receptionist would know that if a call came in for broker number 1, number 3, number 5, all those calls came to Bruce, and I would be able to handle clients' needs, whether it's giving quotes or actually handling trades. You guys now do this all yourselves. It's all done on your phones, and so volumes are higher today in holiday periods than ever before. And sometimes during a day like today or tomorrow being a Thursday, or the day after tomorrow being Friday, we would have what would be thought to be a really quiet Friday, December the 23rd, would be an active day. It could be very active this Friday because folks have computers in their hands now, and you can trade the world. Steve Jobs completely changed many businesses without fully realizing it, as he was evolving his iPhone, as he was figuring this thing out to be the music player, to be your email machine, to be a texting machine, to be your phone. It was also a handheld computer that now took the apps on board, and now the apps were revolutionizing everything, which includes finance. So there are bond traders that trade on these. There are futures traders who trade on these. Institutional traders use these to trade, and individual retail investors buy and sell stock and write and buy back calls using these devices. It's been an incredible 30-year transformation from basically 1993, when I got my first desktop computer, to 2023, starting next couple of weeks. What a 30-year run we have seen. Just unthinkable, absolutely unthinkable how things have completely changed out. Exciting stuff, really exciting stuff. Thank you all for popping through and see what's going on. Holidays are starting tonight for a lot of people. I think I'm just going to grind out the rest of the year. Robert, ATIP crazy oversold. We're 28.4 right now. Adam, I got one GameStop cover call written for February 17th, 2023 at 26.25. I wrote it for 460. The bid is now 156. Is it time to just buy back and rewrite, do you think? Yeah, you can scoop this one back, score your $3 return here, and maybe write a March 22, perhaps, maybe a March 21 or a 22, something like that, and see what kind of premium it'll bring you. That might be the move you may want to make. And you'll get way more than 156 for it, that's for sure. And add that to your cash account. Add that balance to your account. Looking at March contracts, 21s are 340 to 355, 22s are 305 to 335. So, you can perhaps go as high as 350 on a 21 if you want to go that far out, as an idea. If you go beyond March, you're looking at now writing in April 2023. That contract at 21.25 could get you 420. 22.50 might get you 365. So there's a gain definitely on the moving into those contracts. JR Spare, yeah, after so many red days, likely so. Untamed Viking coworker was excited to tell me about the 50-cent raise we are supposed to be getting starting at the beginning of the year. I laughed and told him I made 3 times my month's pay this month, and I'm leaving in May. I like that. That's a good one. Isn't that something? How one person's win is another person's. I'm out of here. Fascinating. I know that a lot of families out there, unfortunately, a lot of middle-class families out there are counting on a 3, 4, 5, 6% pay raise to solve serious cash flow problems to help them get through, another 3 months of markets or expenses. But I'm also aware, and had been aware over the years, that people that used to get 4, 5, 6, 7% raises after taxes were paid, they still didn't have enough money to make a go of it because the prices were rising faster than they could make money. Now cutbacks had to be done. Things had to be cut. Maybe cable services had to be brought down to basic cable, or one cell phone had to be let go. I mean, there are going to be people cutting back because they have no other way to make a go of it. They'll either voluntarily be cutting back, or they will be forced, where a phone just gets shut down and doesn't work anymore. I mean, things happen. Deuce Caboose, can we just do the reverse split, get it over with, and move on, please? Mirko, welcome back. Deuce Caboose, missed you yesterday. Splair, JR, a lot of stonks looked like they were about to lift off. GameStop, Tilray, Carvana, Sofi, all the charts have been swinging up. That isn't looking near like it near an ending. Deuce, Mirko, hey buddy. Splair, by the way, Wells Fargo has to pay $3.5 billion as a bill because some law restrictions. Can these affect the stock still tomorrow? Maybe that might already be baked in. This $3.7 billion fine has probably already been baked into the stock performance. Deuce, Splair, they probably have errors and emissions insurance they don't like. They pay a darn thing. The Old Surfer, good day all. I am number 95 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you. JR, Splair, all my stocks I follow have a pretty significant positive linear regression line, unlike last week, and the VIX is going down too. Deuce, but I don't know. Splair, Deuce, could be the case. Splair, yep, ready, JR. JR, yep. So you see a significant difference as well. Then let's get ready for some popcorn and see what's going to happen here. We've got a 500-point gain with 19 minutes to go on the Dow Jones. We're up 54 on S&P, and we're up 162 on the NASDAQ. And we have Moderna holding a 750 gain. We got GameStop positive. It's plus 16 cents. ATIP is now at 28.2, up down 1.1 cents on the day. Tesla 138.02, up 22 cents. Make that 18 on Tesla. 137.98 right now. Sofi 462 is the last trade, up 5 cents. Apple is holding a 310 gain. All right. Let's see. Marcus, for Tesla poor man cover calls, you would need June 16's 6667 long call. Cost is $75 time value, $75 book value, and $475 time value. Or January 2024 $50 long call, cost of $94, time value $620. Deep in the money calls these are pricey. They're very expensive. Tesla 138 approximately. You're gonna buy $50 calls. So, oh my gosh, you're better off just buying the stock and not worrying about the contract. Mr. Premium of the option, number 97, thumbs up. Bruce also just got back from a vacation that was all paid for by writing call options. Thank you. Good times. Beautiful job. Deuce Caboose. The Boost doesn't have a big caboose. It's more trim than anything else. Splair. Thanks, Uncle Bruce, for answering the Wells Fargo thought I had shortly had before it disappeared. There you go, buddy. We're up 481 on the Dow Jones at the moment. GameStop is holding a 16-cent gain, might be now 13-cent gain. Tesla's up 20 cents at 138. Sofi 462.8. Apple up 310. HPQ up 14 cents. Amazon up 165. HD, Home Depot up 349. Cisco up 43. Netflix up 10.24. And Pfizer's up 22 cents today. All right. Dean is saying, because it was such a green day, my deep in the money call finally went up. However, my poor man covered calls are $2 to $4 above what I wrote them for. Normally, I just wait. These are January 2023s. Should I buy back and roll up, or should I just wait? Now, I'm not sure which calls we are talking about here. You're leaving me outside the loop. Are you sitting on GameStops? I don't think you are. These aren't GameStops, are they? Are these something else? Can you fill me in on that? Adam K. Bought back that call, and I wrote 3 GameStop covered calls for March 17, 2023. The $22 strike. I got 320. Did I do good, Uncle Bruce? I think you did all right. Bringing in 320 on 3 calls that are out of the money. They are worthless except for time. I like it. $1.50 out of the money, 320 to you in your account, cash on hand. I like it. Way to go. Go Sofi. Locked in a profit on that Federal Express stock. A short. I cleared $12,160 today. Well done, sir. Well done. And it was great to see you today on that 1-on-6 as well. That was a lot of fun today. Dude is saying a slow day, only made $900, but I feel a breakthrough coming. Poor mind cover calls are shortly going to become a part of my portfolio. I'm going to stick with Vanguard for a little while longer. Right on. Mirko, Dean, could you roll up and strike and move into February or March or more cash? Then do it, says Mirko. Zach, I got a nice dividend from my handful of IBM shares I have in an IRA. Turned that into 200 more shares of ATIP. Thank you, YBM. Thank you. Go Sofi. I bought 2,000 Sofi at 462. Dude, they are so old school. I have long in the right on the leap or deep money. Kind of quaint, isn't it? I'm not sure what's happening here. Dean, 5 calls, Apple. Okay, so you're talking about Apple shares. 5 calls for BA as well. 5 calls for Apple and 5 calls for BA, which is Boeing. Okay, now I'm getting it. So Dean, the question was, because it was such a green day, my deep in the money's finally went up. However, now my poor man cover calls are $2 to $4 a boat. I wrote them for. Normally, I just wait. These are January 2023. Should I buy back and roll up, or should I just wait? There's the question. So because we're talking about Apple stock, which are now up $3 a share to $135, and we're talking about Boeing stock, and it's right now up $7 to $195. There's the question. So in theory, you've got January calls written now. In reality, you could buy back the Januaries and write February or March contracts. You could likely move in both cases to a higher strike if you go out to March. If you're going to write March calls with a lot more time on them, you could likely move your strike price higher for both of these and bring in perhaps as much or more money than it's going to cost you to buy back these calls. And step number 2, move up your strike price in both cases as well. So that is worthy of a good look at this point, Dean, to see what you think. Go Sofi. Now I have 252,000 shares of Sofi. I'm shooting for 300,000 with short profits that I'm making right here, says Nick. Way to go, buddy. Sorry, call in, I meant. Dude, I have to call a rep on the phone to write on a long call. Sorry, Uncle Bruce. Got it. Dean, awesome. Thank you. You got it, buddy. You got work to do, studying to do on your deep in the money contracts. You've got your option chains to study. We have 12 minutes left in the day today. Otherwise, you're working on this tomorrow. See how the market opens up and see what you want to do next. Something else I'll mention to you guys. It might work for some of you. I don't know. It depends how conservative you are. Some of you folks would like to do deep in the money call acquisitions and write against them, but you don't necessarily want to do it on any one particular stock for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Here's a thought, okay? If you're a holder of ETFs where you can write options against ETFs, you might take a look at the option chain on ETFs and see if any of the ETFs, any of those options can be acquired way out to 2025 under the 90-10 rule. Can you sell an ETF and purchase deep in the money ETF calls instead, giving you more leverage? Because if you have, let's say, I'll just use a rough number, you have 300 units of an ETF and you can write 3 calls at a time right now, could it be possible that you could sell the ETF and buy 5 or 6 deep in the money calls on the same ETF, good till 2025, and now write up to 5 or 6 contracts at a time instead of 3. That's a conservative strategy as well, and that might be something to help leverage you into a higher cash flow scenario right there. Okay, keep that one in mind. All right. All righty. Thank you again, everybody, for your kind words. We have 10 minutes to go, and thank you all of you out there who've been making PayPal donations to us for Jennifer's hip replacement surgery. That's coming up very shortly. We thank you all very much. We've already paid the bill. It's the dough is gone. We got that done, but we do appreciate all of you who've been throwing us super chats and PayPal donations to help towards it. We thank you very, very much. Christina, Uncle Bruce, I sold a $19 GameStop calls that expired this Friday. I got $1.97 for them. They are trading at 153 right now. Should I still hold or go ahead and buy them back now? What are your thoughts? Well, the stock itself, 2055 is where we're at right here. 2053, 2055, we're up 29 cents. Your calls are $1.50 something in the money. So you have that to think about. They're trading at book value, of course. That would make sense to me. No premium there. So if you're ahead on them, you may want to grab those, and maybe you want to write 20s for next Friday and take a premium. Can you get, the 55 cents plus $1 on top of that of shrinkage possibility? Because the only shrinkage you have right now is the price of the stock going down. You don't have any premium, I guess, left on this call. So that's worth looking into. Dude, did someone mention writing on ARKK? I thought maybe Bobby said that, an ETF with a lot of Tesla and other similar positions. Like I said, like I was saying, you can buy deep in the money calls on some of these ETFs. The question is, can you get them under the 90-10 rule? That's the secret here, is to not overpay for deep in the money calls way out in time. Then you can write on those right away. Bobby, I've been looking at ARKK for rights, also Shopify. The old surfer, I read a few days ago, Noto directly owns a total of 5.65 million shares and has now purchased Sofi stock on 23 separate occasions this year. Do you think he might know something? I would say he does. Yeah, a front line of how the company is doing, and he has a front row seat on all the new products that are going to be released all this year coming up and next year. He knows how acquisitions are going. He is probably in deep discussions from time to time for acquisitions. Yeah, you think he's got an inside row, and he kind of knows what he's doing. Don't you think he knows what he's doing? I think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, when insiders of this stature are that aggressive in acquiring stock, it's got to tell you something. I mean, hello. Yeah, I think so. 462 on SoFi. An absolute bargain. I don't think 5 years from now, anyone will be disappointed that they didn't buy it here. I think the disappointment will be down the road when the stock hits 15 and 18 and 23 and 28. There will be people who will say to themselves, I could have bought all I wanted when it was 462, and that guy, that homeless Canadian guy sitting in this condo in Palm Desert, is telling me you might want to consider getting into this, and I didn't listen to him, and now here I am watching this stock just run away, and I didn't get on the train at the station. What was I thinking? JR, GDX is a VanEck Vectors Gold Miners ETF that is trading for about 30 and has $18 strike Jan 2025 contracts that fall within the 90-10 rule. This is homework for you guys to do. This is some homework that you guys can go after. Take a look at, if you're just into, you just want to be into software stocks, you want to catch the bottom of the sell-off of the tech wave because you believe that the upside is phenomenal. You're going to look at ETFs that are tracking the FANG stocks, that are tracking NASDAQ, whatever's. You want to get into precious metals, you want to get into bank stocks, you want to get into this and that. I mean, look around. There are zillions of ETFs out there, and check the option chains and see what you find. Now, on top of that, you have got to do your homework to see not only can you get a contract or 2 or 10 or whatever it was in the 90-10 rule, but now that you figured that out, can you write any contracts on these ETFs? Do they have liquidity? Is the bid ask, $5 to $8? You don't want to be into something like that. You want to have something with liquidity. This is why you have to do some homework here. You may find that certain ETFs work, but many don't. And I'm just cautioning you to figure it out and see what you can find. All right. Pouring into GameStop until 10 poor man covered calls right there. DQ, dude, I write on ARKK. Marcus, Uncle Bruce, is the 90-10 rule comparing book value versus time value, or option cost versus time value? I always look at 10% of option cost, and maybe that's my problem. No, that's exactly what you do. What's the price of the contract? If the contract is $12, you take $1.20, 10%, and deduct it from $12. What do you get now? $10.80. Well, how much money is the contract in the money? How much is it in the money? If it's in the money, $5 or $12 or $14, I mean, then if the contract trades at $12 and it's in the money $11, and there's only $1 time premium on it, you got a 90-10 contract rule here. You got one, yeah. So stay on top of that. Mirko, dude, I'm writing ARKK premiums. They're nice. Splayer, all right. I think I'm now finished with the day. And just in case we pop on GameStop to 21 or 22 tomorrow, I'm half naked now. Congratulations. Kind of. Mirko, but hard to get 90-10 long calls. There you go. Mr. Premium, the option. Stinker just hit. Sold for 141. Just bought back for 6 centinos. Right on, Mr. Premium. BW, so think about this. 230,000 shares. You can write 2,300 Sofi contracts. Just a simple profit of 40 cents and buy them back equals $92,000. This is why now accumulation on cheap poor man covered calls are the way. There you go. Mirko, put some cloth on. Splair, please. Alex, number 103 on the thumbs up meter. Bruce, you are over 100 thumbs ups here. Good evening, all from Inflation Island. Uncle B and the New York Stock Exchange. You may now begin trading. Right on, Alex. Thank you. BW, is my math right there? Alex, okay, dude. Okay, I added ARKK to my watch list. I'm going to be increasing my lot purchases on Sofi. Uncle Bruce, you've convinced me. I'm up to 500 shares. I need at least 1,000. Go Sofi. Uncle Bruce, if Carvana is not doing well, then that means CarMax might not be doing so great either. Tomorrow they have earnings coming. Carvana do not have that much physical space compared to CarMax. Man, what a mess. So my thinking is, if Carvana is not doing that great while selling on internet, how would CarMax do on the sales side of cars with physical inventory and all the parking spots and the cost of carrying all that space, right? Bobby Atkinson, $2,340 equals $105,000. Financial Mischief, 2,000 more ATIP at 28 cents. Dean, so bought back Apple Jan 23s, then sold March 23, 750 premium, and raised my strike price to 140. Right on, Dean. Way to go. JG, good afternoon, Bagel Gang. I'm number 104. Dean, don't have time for Boeing. Always tomorrow. We got 2 minutes left in the day. BW, dude, you are just selling puts to be able to get stock you want anyways. Might as well make some premium while it's only pennies on the dollar. Splayer, y'all, I wish everyone a good night. And Mirko, clothes are overrated. DQ, I dare someone to exercise my January 2025 Moderna's 180. Stock is at 210. Come on, I dare you. Take me out. I dare you to take me out. The premium, I get to keep the premium. I'm laughing on this deal. Alex, BW, when Bruce finishes, I'll start from the beginning again until I catch up my comment. John Anderson, is it just limited to ETFs? What about BDC or REITs? You could probably do the same on those. A question of contracts. You can write on contracts. Check it out. The liquidity might not be very good, though. We have a minute to go. John Anderson, my thoughts, stay away from REITs. I think you're going to crumble in the next year based on what Bruce keeps saying economy-wise. Mirko, Dean, well done. Z Estate, 108, tapping in. Thank you for these thumbs ups. We have a minute in the day. We're up 506 on the down with a late surge. Moderna up 880. GameStop is up 20 cents. ATIP is up down 1.3 on ATIP. We're down 31 on Tesla to 137.49. Dude, BW, I'm up to lesson number 3 at this point, and for some reason, puts still elude me. Lesson 4, I'm hoping it clears up. I'm versed in cover calls, and that's about it. Larry Titus, the bells have rung, Bruce. We're done for the day. Thank you, Larry, again. DQ, thank you, Larry Titus, for being the bell master as always. Yeah, another fun day and a lot of potential to make money. A lot of you taking opportunities here to buy back calls that have come off in price that expire here in the next month or so into now January's, and you're just turning around and writing brand new March or April calls for way higher premiums. You're possibly moving up your strike price if you need to, hauling in additional cash, picking up additional deep in the money calls, and writing more calls again. Graduating up your portfolios. Beautifully done, everybody. Well, good job. Matthew, I've been shopping around for poor man cover calls next year, and GameStop premiums are more than a $30 stock. DQ, go Sofi. CarMax is a much better run business than Carvana. We'll see how they perform with their earnings release and see how that helps the stock or hinders it. Time will tell. What a day, folks. What a week. Tomorrow is the 22nd of December. Getting closer to Christmas. Unreal. Join me tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. If you're a Gold Bagel member of this channel, you're on the upper tier of this channel's membership. You get to join me 8 o'clock tonight, primetime live with Uncle Bruce. We can talk about trades all day, what you're doing, what you got going on. You can ask me questions about some thoughts you have, some ideas. We'll compare some notes. I look forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock Eastern Time tonight as a Gold Bagel member on Primetime Live with Uncle Bruce. Be sure to join me. Otherwise, join me tomorrow morning at first thing in the morning. We'll do the alert show first thing. Then at 8:30 tomorrow morning, we'll do the 8:30 show 1 hour before the opening. And then tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have our final show of the week, our final 6-on-1 show for tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, from 1 to 2 o'clock. We did one today. We did one yesterday. We've now done 2 of these 6-on-1 shows, and they're working out rather well. The participants kind of like the format. They like the idea of flowing ideas back and forth, comparing notes. I got to tell you, tomorrow's show, it could well be a very small attended affair. And if you want to hang out with me for an hour, for only $150, you can get together with me tomorrow for an hour with a very small group of people. This is a bit of an offer here. We do not have 6 people signed up for tomorrow's show. We have far less than that. So if you'd like to be in on tomorrow's 1-on-6, you've already been on maybe show number 1 or show number 2, and you'd like to be part of show number 3, you haven't been part of either of them yet, this might be an opportunity for you to score some 1-on-6 time with yours truly for a pretty good deal. Make a donation to my PayPal account, which the link is down below, and you can certainly pop in there and send me a private email and say, Bruce, I just sent you 150 American dollars on your PayPal account. I want in on tomorrow's show. Make sure to send me a link. I will confirm your dough, that you've done it, and I will then send you a link about 10 minutes before we begin. Today, we had 4 people involved instead of 6. So it was a 4-on-1, and that gave a lot of people everybody tons of time to ask questions and recover a few things. We don't have 4 people for tomorrow. I'm not telling you how few there are, but I'm telling you there are less than 4 signed up for tomorrow's show. And this is one of those, whoever shows gets the time. Totally up to you if you want to be part of it. How many openings do we have? None of your business. Oh, man. Thank you, everybody. Mr. T, damn, I don't think my member milestone message went through. Just saying, hey, Brucey, hope you and Jen are doing well. Happy Christmas to both of you and everyone here. All the best. Let me take a look and see if there's there is a message here. Mr. T, got it. Hey, Brucey boy, just popping by to say hi. Hope you and Jen are doing well. Wishing you both and everyone here a great Christmas. Happy holidays, number 106. Thank you, Mr. T, for that message. It did show on the YouTube channel. I am looking at my software program here to StreamYard to see messages. So I didn't see that message at all, but I got yours here, and I thank you very much for that. Larry, thanks. Beach Boy says, DQ, I see it, Mr. T. Thanks, Larry, from Alex. Dude, Larry, have a good one. You rock, Mr. T, DQ. Okay, thanks for confirming. Larry, Alex T. It's there, dude. It's there. Cheers, Alex. DQ. There are 7 openings for the 1-on-6. Bruce can't make it, so it's just going to be us ourselves. Mirko, I know one who's in tomorrow. It starts with B-E something. DQ, number T, Mr. T, cheers, Brucey. All the best, man. Thank you very, very much. I will confirm that Beach Boy is one of the confirmed viewers tomorrow. If you ever wanted to know what Beach Boy looks like, this is your chance. We will talk Festivus for the rest of us with Mr. Beach Boy around tomorrow. But if you want to join in on that show tomorrow, you had better make your move as soon as possible so I know who's doing what. And we will have our 1-on-6 or 1-on-5 or 1-on-4, or is it 1-on-3, or is it, what is it going to be? We're going to find out. And we'll see what's going on. Dude, well, I could scrounge up some cash, but I'm a simpleton. Would I still be welcome? Oh, of course. I was mentioning on today's show that those of you who are newbies would get way more out of the show than those who are not newbies. Because those of you who are newbies are going to get some really neat info from viewers that are constantly writing contracts. And you're going to see the future. You're going to see yourselves in the future. It's kind of like going through a flux capacitor and noticing the kind of questions that are being asked of me from those who've been around a while. You're going to go, that's me next year. That's me in 6 months. I get it now. Now I see what they're excited about. Anyway, Matthew, have a good one, folks. Another great day. Dude, I'm still worm level. Zach, level 3 options approved just now. Poor man cover calls. Get ready for 2023. Way to go, Zach. Great job, buddy. This is fantastic. Well done, all of you. All right. I will see you folks tomorrow. Well, actually, I'll see some of you tonight. Gold Bagel members tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. Otherwise, I'll see you folks tomorrow morning. Prior to the 8:30 show and the 8:30 show. Have a great night in the meantime. Be well, everyone. We ended up with a 526-point gain on the Dow today. Maybe tax loss selling is running out. GameStop did gain 30 cents at the end of the day today. All right. Beach Boy, remember to air your grievances this Festivus season, starting with tomorrow. And way to go, Zach, says JR. Well done. All right, guys, have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow and tonight at 8 o'clock, if you dare, for the Gold Bagel member Primetime Live with Uncle Bruce show. Spicy, I'll have to wait until you do a Friday. I'm working all the time, man. Zach, JR, thanks, my man. DQ tonight. Oh, yeah, it's hump day. JR, you are making me earn too much money, Uncle Bruce. Wait, that's not a grievance. That's not a grievance. DQ, Camel. Okay, there you go. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. We'll see you later tonight. Bye for now.